Hi. So in this video, I want to talk about why some people don't have visuals and what are those visuals I'm talking about in the beginning. And at the same time, in the comment section, please share if you have visuals, as in you close your eyes and you see stuff. Or some people actually, let's say, while you can see the physical world all over the place, you can see your hands and everything. Other people will be able to see not just that, but also energies, auras, and spirit guides and much more. So if you have something like that, share in the comments. If you don't, share in the comments as well. And with a reason why. Why do you think you have it or don't have it? Now, with that being said, visuals that I'm talking about, looking from my perspective and the way I grew up, it's having a sight somewhat beyond the physical. As in, once you look around yourself, it's not just, a pen. It's not just, the bottle of water and anything else, but energy. You look at your hand and you see energy. You look at other people and you can see their auras. You can also see some of their chakras that might be closed. You can see entities. Oh my God. Like, why some people see Bigfoot? Why some people see reptilians while others are like, yeah, it doesn't exist because I never seen them and no one has a footage of it. But some people do have that. So with visuals that I'm talking about, it's like having a certain frequency is same as tuning the radio channel or TV channels and trying to catch that one that's going to work, and you tune into this specific frequency, so to speak, and all of a sudden you can access more. And with that, some people will be able to see beyond the physical. And a lot of people won't have it. They will have blocks. And it's not just, oh my God, I cannot see entities. I cannot see energy, bummer. But for a lot of people, they will try to get out of body. They will try to experience lucid dreaming, astral traveling, and they cannot get it. They close their eyes and it's pitch black. And no matter how hard they try to visualize and other things, zero, complete darkness. Why is that? For a lot of people, and specifically, I'm looking at the case of having had over a few hundred clients and people that I have worked with, a few hundred different stories, and everyone, I'm sort of like, I keep notes of everything that we talk about, of what I find about them. And a lot of times people come here on Earth with a certain purpose. Not everyone's going to be like, yay, Earth, I'm going to come here and save the world, or whatever your purpose might be. But those that do come here on their own free will usually have a thing they want to do. And having visuals will help a person escape this place when things get hard. Like, for me, it's one of the problems because, like, I'm talking to my mentor, Kimberly McGeorge, and she's amazing. But one of the things we're working on is trying to keep me here more present within the body. Not like I'm not here all the time, but let's say when things get hard, I'm out. I'm not here. Like, I'm not fully present and all. So I have to learn that. But for a lot of people, they stay with those issues. Let's say someone you love dies. You end up in very stressful situations. You have a hard time making money or whatever, is thrown at you. And like a lot of times people are hurt mostly like in relationships, like there's someone you love or care about, or, like, hey, it's just family and you give your best and you're being rejected, you're being, like targeted, you're being yelled at and called an scapegoat and everything else. And it kind of like hurts a lot of people. And in that way, any kind of situation, like, hey, relationships is one thing, like emotional stuff for some people is hard to handle. Okay. But there are people, physical problems, like boom, they cannot move anymore. They injured their spine. They lose their limbs and, like life gets miserable. But they're stuck with that state. They're stuck with the pain and with a lot of issues, wondering, why am I here? Why is it me that has to suffer? Why is it happening to me? And if people had visuals, they could literally close their eyes. And the only difference between what you experience here and the dream is that you're here present more often. But if you were to able to close your eyes and dream or get out of body, astral travel, and whatever label we want to put on that, well, let's say, imagine another reality where you can put your consciousness in there And while you have your eyes closed or open, whichever way for you it is better to imagine, but while you're sitting here, you can create a scenery, a forest, or, like, oh, like I like the warm weather and the beach and sort of tropical sunlight and everything else. And you create that perfect reality for yourself. Some people have this maladaptive daydreaming. Some people are great at it. And they can put their attention and consciousness and focus in that place so much that it's not just seeing it, it is feeling, it is smelling, and all the perceptions and senses they would have here, they have it there, but even more. It's even stronger. And they can meet people in those worlds, and they can talk and have relationships and all kinds of experiences. And all of a sudden, people can spend hours and hours daydreaming in another place because that created reality is way more real. And if you have problems in life, but before coming here, you sort of had a goal, you're kind of stopping yourself in a way, like, if I want to achieve this, if I want to do this thing, whether it would be waking people up, whether it would be like connecting the groups and sharing some sort of information and guiding people, being an example, or whatever your goal might be, if you have visuals, it gets in the way of a goal. And usually people just can't handle it because, again, having visuals means you can create your own reality. You can imagine that space and get out and have your consciousness fully in a place that you can fully have all of your perceptions there, all of the senses. And that place is way more real than this. And for some people, like, it's the most amazing thing that can happen. But for others, it is the exact reason what stops you from getting visuals, from getting out of body, from seeing entities and energies. Like, kind of like being blunt, but like you have this ability, you can do it. But if before coming here, you decided on a thing you want to do, and if you knew like, hey, I need to get this done, and if things get hard, there's a part of me that will want out. So I'm gonna block myself so that I could finish the goal. Now, this thing, it's a problem for some because like some of you will be like, heck, I don't want that. I don't want it anymore. I want to have visuals and I want to out of this place. I hate this place now. Some people, certain spots and, like values and everything else. But here's the thing we all need to know is that just because some of you might have had a goal and or purpose before coming here on Earth doesn't mean that you're going to have to spend your whole life trying to manifest it and make it happen. You can change your decision. Before coming here, you had a very strong decision of what you need to do. While you're here, and you might not remember your purpose or goal before coming here that you have made, that, having visuals and having a fast way out would be a solution to, or sort of like, it would be like mess my plan up. You can sort of strongly decide, hey, whatever I decided to do before coming here, it's not a thing anymore. It is not working. I have changed my mindset. I have changed my goals. And right now, this place for me is, you put your text in there. It's toxic, or it's too hard to handle, or it's too much and I cannot do this anymore and I want out and I want to be done with this, like whatever your thoughts would be. But again, it's just one of many reasons why people will not have visuals. Because clearly, if you don't practice it, it's a muscle. So let's say looking at a TV screen, at the monitor, at your phone for a longer period of time, it's like your brain gets the visuals. You cannot use that same time to create anything else. People that would read books and maybe let's say novels, like a Little Prince or something else, where you don't have the pictures, but you have a text and it's not necessarily psychological teaching about stuff. Well, for some people, it's going to be great. Some people can go into human anatomy and visualize everything and see all this stuff. Great. But others will need to start basic. Pick a story, like whatever you like, The Witcher, Game of Thrones, some like Metro 2020, 2033, and some other things that you might be interested in. Whatever the genre could be, science fiction, fantasy, and just allow yourself to spend some time in that world. Like it's fiction, so to speak, and you would read that text, and it doesn't have any pictures, and you read like a few paragraphs and just close your eyes for a minute and try to see that. Try to create a picture of what it looks like after you read a good description. Whether it is a character presented or a certain location or certain kingdom and all, you would have to practice it. Now for kids, they do it all the time. And they get so good at like, oh, you have imaginary friends. Like, no, those guys, like, they're able to tune into a certain frequency that can access certain stuff. It's like, again, radio channel. You tune in and you catch only the radio with certain songs. Some people will be able to see entities that way. Some people will be able to see Bigfoot and fairies and little gnomes and other things in that way. And it's great if you can work that muscle, but if we don't use it and abuse it with, or like mess it up with certain diets, or let's say junk food and alcohol and like various like things that can intoxicate your body, like it's not going to help. It's not going to make it better. So, oh my God, now I have to watch my diet and everything else. And, you know, for some people, if you were to have visuals, you might see too much and you will not be able to confront what you see. Like, oh, I don't want to see entities. I don't want to see scary faces or ghosts or dead people or anything else. Like, if you don't like that idea, it's kind of hard for you to confront it, opening your door in the middle of the night when you go to pee and there's a child standing there with like black eyes and stuff, like, oh, like that's kind of creepy. You don't want that happening. Well, you kind of want your visuals closed. You don't want them working really. So a lot of people will have limiting beliefs. They will have decisions before coming here again, like the diet, the way we work is going to be thing. And, you know, tons of other things like the directed energy weapons and like the technologies around us and other things can affect us, like calcified pineal gland and more than that. So one of the biggest things that's the most common for people, you know, that have come here with a decision or like willingly, is the purpose or a goal that they have decided on that they want to do. And having visuals would be an escape route if they cannot handle it. So it's kind of like you are stopping yourself. So that's the most common thing. Anyway, if there's anything else you think I haven't added, like with what can mess up person's visuals or what can help people get better visuals, like feel free to share in the comments. And thank you for watching this video. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.